Hello, everybody. This is Yisus from 2 to 4, doing the another interview in this series of the Invitational tournament is going right now. So if you haven't heard about it yet, please take a look in the description. We have links for the information. And today we're gonna be on the interview with one of the greatest, one of the good players, the la creme de la creme in Vice Trust around the world. We're talking with Coen Cheng. So, Coen, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, pretty good. I mean, kind of nervous. Kind of my first time on the channel doing the interview, so I'm kind of be it might be sloppy, but trying to go around with this, man. Uh, well, to start with the interview, I would like that you present to the viewers your achievements, all kinds of things you consider are important for the game.
All right, guys. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Coen Cheng. I'm a Strictly Broken sponsored player, and a short list of my achievements are: I'm a three-time World Championship qualifier. So that means I went to Worlds 3 times in a row, and I top eight twice for these two out of three participations. I'm mainly known for playing SAO, but I did pick up Konosuba like not too long ago, and yeah, that's the short version of it.
Yeah, that's one of the questions around here, because why Konosuba? If you're so fond of playing SAO, why Konosuba today? Why in this tournament you chose to be so bombastic choosing this deck?
Okay, so I switched over to Konosuba, and the reason for that is that I think SEO is a good deck, but the longer the competition goes on, right, there will be better decks in the format. And recently, Konosuba just got more sets, and I think Konosuba is a better set in the long term. So that's why I invested into the deck, and I think it's just a general really good deck because like right now in the meta, it just has like good, way better matchups than SEO has, for example. Because like in this game, you don't really want to play 50-50s. You want to adapt to the meta. And for example, as Worlds, I picked up this deck because like Fate was a newly introduced competitive deck,
Yeah, and
and
pretty
my guess
annoying
would
deck
have
to play against.
yeah. Uh, but anyway, I thought it had a good spot in the meta. I think it's really strong, and as everyone know, it's really hard to play around Konosuba because like it's just so oppressive by having like control with the stock swap Fumio,
Hmm.
these kind of things. And yeah, that's why I picked this deck.
So, as a Konosuba formula, it's uh, it's it's pretty well known. But so I'm gonna go ahead talking about the level zero, if you don't mind. So, for example, you play 3 copies of the runner, which is actually on drop climax salvage, which is
Hmm.
pretty good runner. You also play this Noise and Megumin, which is pretty good for picking magic characters, which is the main objective of the deck,
Hmm.
basically magic characters.
Hmm.
Also, Sunset Megumin, a pretty good beater. Actually, a zombie beater because she can live a long time because of her ability of top checking every time she gets reversed. Uh,
Hmm.
Also, Ambush Union. Well, the Resonance Union that makes the deck run pretty smoothly.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the core of the deck, your engine. The whole reason to play this deck is literally this card.
Literally, the symbiosis that has this union with the level 3 Megumin, which is below. We're going to talk
Hmm.
about her later.
Hmm.
Actually, making your stock be worth every freaking turn. So yeah. Uh, also continuing on level zero, we have the money maker Aqua, which makes your stock going around. You play 3 copies of her,
Hmm.
which is any specific is a specific reason of 3 copies on her.
The reason why I don't play four is that over the course of this last season, I tested it a lot, and it actually a lot of times it ruins your bunny girl Yunyun because first of all she's goddess or
Yeah,
something. She's missing a trait for bunny Yunyun.
yeah. She
So
needs only magic characters in field.
yeah, so if you play them both together, Bunny Union loses its power, so it's really bad. And some people actually don't front into Aqua, so you do plus, yes, but yeah, then you kind of have to either overplay it, which kind of feels bad because your opponent lets you plus,
Yeah.
or you have to accept the negative power, and that's just like something I think it's contradicting.
Yeah,
So that's why I run three.
kind of troublesome on Union per se because she has to reverse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And furthermore, you have one copy of the TD drop searcher, and why just
Mm-hmm.
one copy?
The TD drop searcher is like your a way out. It's not really necessary, but like this card just like it's like what's it called? A safety button or whatever. Like if you have it, it's nice to have, but it's not necessarily good. It's actually really underwhelming, but it's also I would always keep it at one for now.
Okay, so it's always good to have some safety. I mean, it's not being over paranoid in some way, but it's actually a good option to have something to be okay. I've got this. I can get my combo or the level 1 or level 3 combo, and I'm pretty safe.
Yeah,
Also for
yeah.
okay, so
This card
mhm.
running this card means actually you run a copy of any other card in your deck. So let's say I'm like running 5 bunny ambush unions or 5 bunny unions basically.
Right.
The deck doesn't really rely on this card much because like every stock you have is technically a plus or a card in hand, and the drop search is kind of like one for one, so you don't plus of it. So it's not like you really want to use it, but it's there if you need it. That's the thing.
Okay. So what's your plan with this level 0 setup?
Okay, so this level 0 is partly inspired by Ryan Wilberly, my teammate. I think the your level 0 is generally you have your plussing level 0, so you have the swimsuit, you have the board game Megumin. You want to plus with that. You have your nuisance Megumin, the on death Chihiri. The reason why she is good is that if she dies, it gives you 1 deck speed, which is really really good because like your main game plan is to refresh at level 1, and she just digs 4 cards off your deck. You can dig like your key cards, your combo cards such as Ambush Union or Bunny Girl Union. Generally, really really good card. Furthermore, you're going to the Snot Aqua. Snot Aqua helps you generate stock in matchups where you can't win a union, such as AOT. So
Mhm.
sometimes against AOT, I would just like slam Snot Aquas, maybe slide into their board, slamming a Stock Soul or something,
Mhm.
and just go. And usually doing this will net you like 4 or 5 stock before entering level 1, which is ideal, right? Like Konosuba just wants to start snowballing from there, and yeah, that's about it for level 0.
All right. So we go ahead to level 1, which it's it's the basically trying to push everything as an impression. Uh, Going straight for the climax combo, which is Yunyun, which is a pretty good oversized climax combo. She gets it's 2,000 for basically for free on your build of your deck because you're playing majorly magic characters. And on reverse, you make a blind stock and you top check for a +1 if you get a level 1 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
So on playing this, we also have here a level 1 reverser, which has a
Mm-hmm.
hand card which is pretty handy, and
Yeah.
2 copies for the anti changer, which is uh, one of those anti changes that are actually pretty expensive to use. I mean, you have to ditch 2 cards from your hand. Uh, any reason for 2 copies instead of only one, or going more for more?
I ran two because at that time I felt like it was really good on two. I might cut it to one nowadays because like a lot of people expect people to run two. That's like the norm right now, right? Like if
Yep.
you see a Konosuba matchup in the tournament, you assume he will play two anti-change. So like in a close deck list, so like let's say a BCS or anything, I
Hmm.
would play one. But for this tournament, people assume like because people know your deck, you might want to play two. I do admit that like it's very very costly, and it's usually a win more card, but it's probably better than anything else you can play, honestly. The notable like I wouldn't necessarily have a card in mind that I would swap out to play over the extra anti-change counter.
Hmm. All right. So for level one, any commentaries of your plan of or what do you do in level one?
Okay, so for Konosuba, what you really want to do is everything needs to blend together, right? So like your level zero is like either plus or prepare for level one,
Hmm.
and your level one you generally want to combo with Money Union, but if you can't, that's okay to just try to stack up stock, try to keep up with control. The reason why I run the new Nice Explosion Megumin, the level one bomb, is
Hmm.
because this card, having this card, let's say you filled it on an empty slot. This card is basically any other card you get off Ambush Union, which is really good. Because like if you go through my list, right, like any
Yep.
card in second deck, let's say if you hit Snot Aqua, in Snot you don't really want to Snot Aqua in second deck because usually in second deck you're compressed.
Yeah.
So basically, having this nice explosion Megumin, if you're like if Goblin Slayer crashes into it, you have an open slot which enables you to get more damage in, right? You can direct into that lane, and
Hmm.
also you can drop a bad card for a good card.
Yeah. Actually,
And
Panic are being pretty powerful. You may go ahead.
and obviously, I run 4 copies of the Bunny Girl Union.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, I think that's a really staple. Run 4 copies of your combo cards.
yeah, yeah. That's for sure. And going ahead for level two, two cards that are pretty well. One that has its the presentation itself, the foreclosure, the not so well loved foreclosure. Three copies
Yeah.
of
So
the
this,
most threatening card in Vice, I guess. Not
mhm,
not the most threatening, but actually pretty. It has its shock, doesn't it?
mhm. Yeah. I think this is every good player's most feared card, especially when the Konosuba pilot is really good. It sets enormous pressure on your opponent.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no real, usually not a real good play around it, unless you play like something that generally not generate a lot of stock. If that
okay.
makes sense, like let's say SAO,
Yeah, so something
any
short,
other.
short in the stock.
Yeah, maybe even Sunshine or something like.
Yeah,
If they have like 5 or 6 stock, it's usually not
yeah.
that great, but it's still pretty good.
So yeah, some player may try to avoid this by spending all this talking level two, perhaps. But does it really
Yeah,
worth
but
it? Is the question.
even then, it's not really worth it, right? Because then you're spending all the stock without me playing the counter, so I don't have to pay 3 cost
Yeah,
to decompress you, and then I just play the Fumio instead, the Aqua.
exactly.
So
We're talking further on that aqua because that's a pretty good combo here. But I'm
mhm.
pretty. It's puzzled me about this tech for one about the calling for teacher Megumin. I didn't really pay attention to this card when reading the Konosuba set per se. Because she's a level three slayer. I mean, she gets 6,000 for if she faces a level three or higher. And if you reverse a level two or higher, you may pay one to salvage a character, and that's pretty powerful because well, I guess that Yunyun makes a lot of stock, so that's worth it, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So one copy
Uh,
of her, just an attack option.
yeah, so I run this card because if I remember correctly, a friend of mine introduced me to this card. Shout out to Martin.
Mhm.
But I think this is a good card because in generally, uh, when I was playing SAO, right? Like when I was playing a lot of decks, I like this profile because it attacks people when they're ahead. When I'm ahead. So like
Yeah.
usually when I'm like level level 2 and my opponent's already level 3, right? Like he is playing big bodies on board and I
Mm-hmm.
can't normally get over it, so I want an answer. This card is really good because like it gets 13k.
Yeah.
I can attack into it, salvage a card, which is also really good.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I like this card in general. I'm not too sure if I introduced this card to Wibs before the tournament, before the Worlds tournament or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to shout out to Martijn. Thank you for this tech.
And also it's pretty good because you can get, so you don't have to waste that much stock. I mean, you just pay one stock for getting rid something on two stock in your opponent's side, I guess. That's pretty worth it. I mean, you pay two stock for doing something that could be that is actually getting one plus one and also getting rid of your opponent, which is I
Mhm.
think it's pretty great. With the level 2, we have to talk on early plays too. You play 4 copies of the early play Aqua that heals to stock. Why 4 copies?
Okay, so before this Worlds tournament and last season, I played 8 gate a lot.
Okay.
My good friend Nando, former world champion, played the 8 gate version of Konosuba,
Yeah.
and I think that deck is still a really good version of this deck.
Uh huh.
However, over the course of last season, people started attacking heavily against level 3s. So if you looked at the ENTCG's list,
Mm-hmm.
AOT's list, he ran a level 0 Levi that gets like 10k or something against level
Yeah.
3s. So like people started attacking so heavily against early plays, and with the introduction of ReZero 2, it got like um, people just had a lot of answers to level 3s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm running 4 copies of the Aqua because I cut the Detonation Dame uh, early play Megumin
Yeah.
for this card because I think fielding multiple early plays is a risk on its own, not because like because people play anti-changes, right? So like if you
Yeah.
field Megumin plus Aqua or Aqua Aqua, it's kind of risky that you walk into an anti-change, you lose a stock, which is really really bad, right?
Yeah.
Um, that in general, I cut the early play Megumin because that card has some flaws where if your game plan is really to compress for second deck, in the second deck you play that card and you mill like let's say like 2 or 3 climaxes, you really ruin your compression in general.
Yeah. I totally agree on that. I
Uh,
mean, it's the pretty lame situation that you want to mill 3 characters and then you get 2 climaxes and it's like, okay, I have made so much harm to myself. Just
yeah,
by
that's correct. The payoff is just isn't there anymore, right? Like so that's also the reason why I run the Calling for Teacher Megumin, the 2-1.
Mhm.
I can field an Aqua. Sorry, I can field that card, the 2-1, plus the Aqua, and attack 2 level 3 lanes without my opponent having the opportunity to anti-change counter and completely screw over my turn, right?
Yeah,
That's why I think it's so powerful.
yeah, it's a pretty good plan. Uh, going ahead with the finisher lane, what we call here in the real level 3 department, we have these 3 cats, which are the bombastic setup for Konosuba. You already solved kind of gave me an answer to one question I had about you're actually using the combo instead of just using her for being the bait for the resonance union.
Mm-hmm.
And also, could you tell us about how you plan to finish the game with this triple setup? I mean, the Megumin and the explosion, the power up explosion magic Megumin and the Aqua.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, let me clear a misconception about the deck. I think a
Okay.
lot of people think this is a really, really easy deck. However, Konosuba's finishing turn is probably the hardest level 3 to play out correctly
Mm-hmm.
because there are so many variations and so much math to do to see like which one is the best play. I really like Konosuba for its flexibility in finishers, but usually your board will look like the powered up Megumin explosion magic.
Mm.
Uh, you will play that in combination with the event, the stock swap,
Hmm.
and the aqua to have like insane pressure. But having the Megumin clock kick is also very good because like nowadays the mana has like a lot of strong bodies. Let's say Love Live Sunshine Yo, for example, is
Yeah.
your opponent's finisher. If he fields it, right, you don't really have a good answer to kill that because Konosuba finish attack power on level threes are very low.
Yeah.
So usually you use your Megumin to finish and have a decent board, like board removal, or you will use like sometimes you will heal down with the Aqua Healer.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, there are like a lot of ways in how to play out the level three, but the most general one is the burn five, Slug Soft Fumio, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this burn five that actually as a card, I mean, I'm pretty much in love with Power Up Explosion Magic Megumin because it's playing things for free and also bombing you in the same turn actually saves you a
Yeah.
lot of issues about how to handle stock, even if you have not so much stock, just in case of bad unions, for example.
Uh,
So,
you usually just have like a lot of stock. I don't think I ever really missed. Well, so it costs a lot to do the burn five, but usually stocks off Fumio and the clock kicks are
mhm.
dangerous already, right?
Yep.
It just really depends.
Yep.
I do think like having to play that card, right? You can literally play the burn five Megumin and then play the normal Megumin
Hmm.
for the cost of one level three. So it's really good. Even though if you don't use the burn effect,
Hmm.
it's a really good effect. There
Yeah.
were games where I couldn't top deck a climax, but I still wanted to push soul damage and I wanted to clear opponent's board. So I played powered up explosion magic Megumin twice,
Hmm.
and a Megumin for only two stock, which is insane.
Yeah.
And the turn after that, my opponent attacked into me. I played the stock swap because like now you have a board, right? Now you have now you presented the board. Now you can play the counter, and the next turn aqua, and then two turn kit. It's really powerful.
Yeah. I mean, it's something to be really frightened of. I mean, I mean, it's always a headache for your opponent to be playing against Konosuba with this kind of. He will decompress me. He will burn me for a lot, and uh, he gonna clock kick me, and a lot of bad things happening to my poor little card. So,
Mhm. I
so
think that fear of Konosuba is actually what a lot of Konosuba players want to have. Your opponent, you want your opponent to be scared and make suboptimal plays against you. You want him to have a lot of doubts whether if he has to spend stock or do whatever because like it makes your opponent just make suboptimal plays and you can easily take advantage of that. And that's the reason why I picked this deck.
yeah, I mean, Konosuba making itself be making honor to his name to be a strong deck, an explosive deck, and also being something to be afraid of by itself. Well, Coen, after this, I would like to know what are your impressions on the tournament and what do you expect of it? Do you think that where's your expected expectations on the tournament?
I actually don't have much expectation going into this tournament.
Why?
Uh, I honestly haven't really played this deck in a really long time, and nor did I really prepare for it, I guess, because
Oh,
because the whole COVID thing, I really kind of let's say I got like a little bit demotivated. There's not really something to play for, and then like
yeah.
at a short notice, this online tournament was created, which I really can't prepare for, kinda, because like I think I had like 1 week notice where I knew like where I got invited to this tournament, so
Oh,
there's not much information to do, right?
yeah, quite
But
sudden actually.
yeah, but I do believe I can do well in the tournament.
Mhm.
I didn't practice much for Worlds as well, and it went really well. I think the deck is. I'll just take my past experience up in this deck and see how far I go. Regarding the competition of
Mhm.
the perhaps of the tournament, I think the tournament looks really rough because like it has like all the famous players, or well, almost all the famous players and good players in the tournament, right? Like it has really big names such as like Nando Kordic, Clinton Chan,
Mhm.
Riyaz Mohammed. Sadly, Yue Peng isn't there, but there are multiple world champions in the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to perhaps play them in the winner bracket or the loser bracket. I don't know. We'll see about that.
So, uh, well, Coen Cheng, thank you very much for the interview. I really
Yes, thank
appreciate
you.
your time, and I hope you get a good. I mean, you get a good tournament. I mean, we're gonna tell this to every freaking player, but it's gonna be. I have to say it. Okay. So, anything you want to say to your viewers?
Yeah. I want to shout out couple things, couple people,
Hmm.
couple stores.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Strictly Broken TCG for sponsoring me as a player. I think that's really cool. Big thank you for Ian and the crew for organizing this tournament. I think it's something new, something challenging. So I hope you guys won't be too hard on them. They're definitely open for improvement. And
Yeah.
special thanks to Nova TCG for sponsoring it. So
Hmm.
for the people who don't know who Nova TCG is, Nova TCG is a store that sells Wage Rush singles, mainly for Japanese. So if you ever need Japanese singles, please hit them up.
Okay.
Also, special shout out to you guys. Your YouTube channels from 2 to 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are pretty bad canceling.
uh, I'd like to thank you guys for inviting me to this interview. I think it's really cool for new people to get more involved with the scene, to make content that is just getting active as a community is really cool. So I'd like to thank you for that, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, we're gonna leave it here. Thank you very much for you viewers coming here to watch our channel. Keep track on us. We are going to do further interviews in this series about the invitational tournament. And see you soon. I mean, see you later, alligators. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.